In this cramped little office where there are several guards standing around with their hands on the pommels of their blades and red sashes hung from their shoulder to their hips, there is a woman with white hair looking rather impatient with her arms crossed, looking down at a man wearing a rather wicked mask.
I'm going to take a moment and kind of lean back in my chair. I have very, priestly robes, but a nice coat for the cold. My skull-like mask, but the meter hat set into the top of it to give me this dreadful air of a priest and an executioner rolled into one. But going to look right now. There's two major groups trying to see to your very end. I'm here not just on behalf of, your money, but your souls too.
She had furrow her brow, and it was this woman was mid-30s, maybe early 40s. She was very much a no bullshit type of person. Had a very furrowed brow, very deep set wrinkles from stress, and she squints and examines you for about a moment before there is a loud crash. It sounded like a wall just completely getting blown apart and glass shattering all over the place, and everybody in the room immediately just shuffles, and you can sort of hear the sound of like metal clinking against metal, and everybody looks incredibly uncomfortable. And then she looks at you.
Right. You heard that? That's the spirit wardens right now. They're trying to rob you. They're attacking your men.
Make a roll for me.
Okay. I'm going to push myself, and I'll do a sway.
I would say that this is a perfect example of a sway. So you're going to push yourself to gain an extra die, or would you like to increase the potential effect, change your position?
I want to... What's my current position?
Desperate. You are surrounded by people that are ready to kill you.
Okay. I want them to kind of listen to what I have to say and remain in here, and I want to keep their attention away from my cohorts. So I'm going to try and change my position to like risky, So my position is desperate, you said?
Yes.
Okay. And then my effect right now?
Your effect, unless you wanted to do something... So you just wanted to add an extra die to your roll, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Your effect is standard.
Okay. Bonus dice, just one.
We could also make a devil's bargain to sweeten the deal a little bit.
Actually, I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to reach into my coat pocket and be like, let me show you. And I'm going to take out a piece of parchment. As I'm doing it, I'm going to pretend like it's old and covered in dust and blow the dust off of it. And I'm going to use my trance powder to get them all to listen to me.
Excellent. That increases your effect, so it's going to go from standard to great.
Okay.
And let's see what else. Devil's bargain. Would you like to further increase your effect, gain an extra die? Could I tempt you?
I'm fine with just pushing myself. I'm not going to do a devil's bargain right at the gate.
Very good. Okay, so that's 2 stress for you so far. Go ahead and make that roll for me, and we'll see how this works out.
Oh.
So 4. So 4 is a partial success. So the Brill, the drug dealer with the very much your enemy, and poor circumstances led him to being here at the very same time that you were here. He sort of brushes what's left of the tufts of hair that are trying to be a comb over, and he points at you very accusingly. I know for a fact that you're here to rob these people, and that's probably your lackeys outside. And one of the guardsmen holds up his sword and just like trying to get him to be quiet, and the woman holds out her hand. Go investigate the noise. I would like to speak with you further. What did you say your name was? Exarch?
Yes, they call me Exarch. I'm a man of the cloth, just here to do my due work. You see, I believe that all of our souls need just a little extra watching over. And of course, when it comes to things of the flesh, coin and the such, well, sometimes just an extra pair of eyes won't do. So, that's why I'm here, talking.
Perhaps we can have a mutually beneficial transaction. And she gestures with her hand, and like a good half portion of the 10 men that were in the room with them would just, with the two of you, would go shuffling out and heading towards the source of the noise. And not too much long after, as these men are shuffling down the hall, Revenant, you can hear the sound of footfalls like rapidly approaching as you've reached the door, and you hear a pair of gunshots outside.
Oh. So Revenant is sort of stood in this room. She's looking over at this shattered display case, and these two bodies. There was two of them, I think. Sort of, well, what's left of them underneath it. And she kind of like walks into the glass and picks up this one knife that she was looking at that she kind of wanted. And she sort of like twirls it in her hand and looks at it and and kind of smiles, and then looks around her and she goes, "Oh, well, shit." So she's it. Then she hears the sound of people coming. And did you say gunshots?
Gunshots, yes. You hear a pair of gunshots outside, just pop, pop from the same weapon, very clearly.
Do I recognize the sound of the weapon at all, or?
That's up for you to determine. You can tell me if you recognize the sound of Meredith's weapon, or if you don't.
Oh, well, Meredith, do you think your weapon has a very distinctive...
How common is that rifle that she's got in the city?
Well, it's a fine rifle, is it not?
Yeah.
It's probably not a very common rifle, so it's very easy to sort of hear that. It has a very like distinctive crack, almost like the lightning of the electric barrier that surrounds the city.
Okay, so I'd probably would recognize it.
So she would use her special ability that we have, which is like Bound in Dark, which allows us to kind of communicate with each other, right? To shoot off a message to Meredith and say, we have a problem. Cover me, I guess. So the footfalls are coming. Which way are they coming from?
So this hallway that you've gone down, to give you an idea, it goes straight, and then there's a door, and then the wall of the outside is immediately to your left, and to the right of this door is a hallway that leads down and splinters off into other areas. You can tell that there are people coming from that direction from your right. There are windows, and so
they could potentially run past, or they could. And this door that they were guarding, was it locked? Do I know?
It is locked, but you know they have the keys.
I'll lean down and grab the key from one of the bodies, and I will. Can I tell how many people are coming?
Or could I have told her? With like a return fire message. I'm imagining if I'm doing like scouting work, Meredith is going to say something like that.
The only person that can tell you how many are coming is the person that saw them leave. So Exarch would have to communicate that information.
Okay, so I can't get like a rough number. It just sounds like
It sounds like a large cacophony of rapid footfalls.
a large cacophony. So quite a few people.
More than 2, less than 10.
All right.
Thank you, Omni. Much love.
I would like to, in the seconds that I have, or in the sort of minute that I have, I would like to try to get into the vault, and to like basically unlock and then lock myself back in there, and to make it look like whatever did this or whoever caused this has like gone. I guess it would be back on myself, right? If the people are coming from like as if I was going straight on, then as if they're going the other way, as it were. Like,
what role do you want to justify for this?
I think. Let me just. I'm in the wrong mode. Character mode. I think it would be. It could be under like prowl, maybe.
I'd say that's a prowl. Yeah, that's being sneaky and being deceptive and partaking in misdirection and
basically I'm thinking of it as like I'm doing a little bit of like athletic stuff. I'm trying to do it quickly, but I am also trying to do it unseen.
I would say that prowl is an appropriate role for this, and I'm going to say that your position is risky, and the effect currently, before any modifiers or any pushing or anything like that, is going to be standard.
Okay.
Also, Exarch, I would like for you to mark a point in your resolve since you rolled a desperate action.
Okay.
So you said risky and standard, didn't you?
Yes, risky standard. Do we want to push? Do we want to take a devil's bargain?
Remind me what pushing involves. Is that when I use something to aid myself?
So you take 2 stress, and you can do one of the following things. You can give yourself an extra die. You can increase your effect. You can increase your position, or you can do one of your special ability things.
Yeah, I'll take 2 stress, and I will add an extra die.
Oh yeah.
So risky standard effect. Can I take that now? Yep, I've marked that off now. Submit that, and then bonus die 1.
Indeed.
And then I think I'm gonna go the same as Alex's route, and I'm gonna leave the devil's bargain for now. Okay, that was good. Let's do that later down the line. So I'll do 2 dice.
6.
So
yes. You did roll skirmish instead of prowl. Do you have the equal amount of points?
Did I? Oh no. I picked prowl.
Do you have one less? Do you have one less die?
Yeah, I have 1 less die.
We'll just scratch the 2 off the end. It's still a 6. So.
Okay. Sorry. I thought.
Quite all right. So with the 6, you completely and utterly succeed. You fumble for just a second to find the keys, as digging through a bunch of splinters and corpses to find a set of keys isn't the easiest thing in the world, as the thunderous drum of footfalls gets ever closer. You get the key in the lock, spin yourself around inside, lock the door behind you, and you hear the footfalls just pretty much turn right around the corner as you close the door. So you are not 100% sure if they saw you or not, but they don't seem to be yelling. They don't seem to be trying to, get your attention or anything like that. And now you're in a room with a lot of shelves that are just stacked really high with just random paperwork and stuff like that. And in the center of the room is a very big and heavy iron safe.
Hmm. I would like to get into that iron safe. I'm not gonna push myself to do something stupid like try to like just pull it open with my strength. I remember where the display case got me. I will use I'm gonna say that I have burglary gear on me. And I will use that to essentially do this, I suppose, the correct way and crack into the safe.
Gotcha. Let's look over at Merides for a second. Merides, you've just taken out I believe you just took out the driver and
It was the wheel and the driver.
yeah, so there's still the shotgunner, and he's jumping up on top of the carriage with his literal shotgun and attempting to return fire at you. And he'll squeeze off a shot and then another and then open it up. So what are you attempting to do right now?
I was going to say at that point, after she takes the 2 shots, she has moved position to try and get a better view down the corridor that Revenant is going down, trying to and then watching the people go by. Like she's watching through the scope of the rifle, and when she sees that the people have passed, she then moves round a bit further so that she can see into the meeting room, if that's possible.
Yes, it is. The curtains have since been opened, so it is actually easy to see inside and see that these 5 men are like looking and investigating the scene of the crime, and then they would immediately turn to the door and be like, "Oh." So they're all kind of standing out in the open right now.
I'm kind of just observing. Maybe I'll just to let. Oh God, what was your code name again? Sorry, there we go. So you're gonna let him know that she's there by sending our little crow to go to the window and just start like pecking the window a little bit. It's like on the window, just as a sort of signal.
Okay. And are you pecking at the window where Exarch is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just to let it know that you cover.
Yeah, the woman turns her head and sees the bird at the window and like immediately proceeds over to the window and draws the curtains.
It's fine. It's gonna keep going.
So, give me a big action. What other than just like letting Exarch know that you're just up to something, or do you not have a big action right now?
I don't right now. There's nothing really that she needs to do immediately. She's just gonna leave the shotgunner to be in a panic because it's kind of amusing.
That's fair.
So she's gonna like, okay, let's see what happens from here.
Is there anything that you can do that's like a team action? Because we have a thing that allows us to do like team actions better. Hold on.
I'm not sure how I can assist a teammate, or in fact, no. The only other thing I've got is my sharpshooter, but I'm not shooting at anyone right now.
So when you assist another player who's rolling, you describe what you're doing to help. So you take 1 stress and you give them an extra die.
Okay. Could I hold that as an action? Is that a thing you can do in this game?
No. This is completely sort of just all over the place. You can just do that at any point. There's also
you can assist another PC who's rolling an action, you can lead a group action, you can protect a teammate, and you can set up a character who will follow through on your action. Those are like the teamwork maneuvers that you can make, and because normally we would have to all be together, but because of our special ability, we can all be apart and we can still do those together.
Do this regardless of distance. I want to point out too, it's like when you whisper to Meredith, I can hear it as well. Every cultist can hear the whisper when you take stress for it. So like I also know what's going on.
But neither of them have used stress, so they're just communicating 1-to-1.
Okay. If they're not taking the stress for it, then I can't hear it.
Yep. So this is a good example of leading a group action. You can get the safe open, but where is it going to go? what are you going to do from there once you get out? I mean, this is a lot of money we're talking about. What are you going to do? How are you going to transport it? Think about questions like this.
Yeah, we need a clear path for y'all to get out while I'm yapping.
The wall to the left of the safe, just like the hallway, is directly outside. Down below, you don't know what's underneath. You know that there's a floor beneath you. There could be something down there as well. But outside, Revenant, you have heard and potentially seen the truck pull up as you have Merides dealing with it. And now you hear the clap of like shotgun, just, and then you hear like the brake open, popping out shells, loading in some more.
Since I don't have anything else to do, I might actually just take a shot at the shotgun.
That's fair.
Just to get him out of the way. Can I specifically aim for his hand using sharpshooter?
So let's take a look here. Sharpshooter allows you to push yourself to do one of the following. So make an attack at a. Yeah, I would say that's okay. It's not directly what the ability does, but I'd say that's fine.
Okay.
As long as you push yourself to do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What am I rolling?
That would be hunt.
Hunt. Position.
I'd say the position is risky since you're being shot at right now, even if it is from a distance. But the effect is.
Could I possibly argue it for being controlled because I did move before I took a shot, so he's not shooting directly at me?
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I'll allow that. I'll say that. Yeah, you're in a controlled position. I will say it's a standard effect.
Okay.
Making a shot from that distance is not the easiest thing, and it has a chance of messing up really bad.
And no bonus dice, right?
Unless you wanted to further take a devil's bargain.
No, not yet. I'm not in a bad position.
You are pushing yourself to do the sharpshooter thing, though. So. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in a controlled position and you've rolled a 4, so you have a partial success. So what happens is you line up your sights as this guy is reloading and like yopping out in the night, trying to find out where you are, accusing you of being a coward, telling you to come out and show yourself. And as he lifts up his shotgun to fire again, he just sees the glint of your scope as you shoot. You release the trigger and the bullet flies. And through the scope, you can see one of his. You can see multiples of his fingers just explode, and that's not before he fires off a shot. You're going to take level 1 harm scatter shot.
Ooh.
You do manage to get by a few pellets.
So where do I mark this down?
So your harm needs to be underneath the stress.
And there it is. Yeah. So scatter shot is the damage I took.
Mm-hmm.
Scatter shot. Okay.
Through your clothing, you sort of feel a few pellets like pierce through and tear in, but you do manage to incapacitate this shotgunner and leave him fingerless, at least on his left hand.
Hey.
And all the people that are gathered around the outside door that were potentially suspecting the door that was covered in 2 corpses and an entire broken display case are now looking outside and seeing what's happening. They too draw weapons which resemble revolving pistols, and they start looking outside and throwing open windows.
I move again if I can and try and... As every time she takes a shot, I'm going to have her move, if that's... Because that's a very sniper thing to do.
Yeah, and there's plenty of rooftops nearby and things that are allowing you to just sort of take up new positions. Looking back to Exarch, the amount of gunfire is starting to concern this woman.
You see, I come here out of great concern for you. Tell me, you a religious woman? You pray?
She'd shake her head.
See, shouldn't surprise you. man of the cloth, I have quite a few enemies myself. They're non-believers, of course, but other believers of their own faiths who hate me just for the very fact of I am. But Berith, oh, see, the word of Berith is quick, powerful. It's sharper than any sword. See, it slashes apart spirit and body. It cleaves pure thought from impure thought. It, well, simply put, it cuts sin from the soul. That's why I've come to help you. And I will hold out the parchment I have, which I took documents. So I have maps of the city and registries of nobilities and different things, and I kind of sort through them. And I point to White Crown and the map of the city. And I say, well, I have to applaud all you've done, but you've made yourself quite a list of enemies. Same way that any poor sinner does. I mean, I applaud, as I said, your accomplishments, but you realize just how many are trying to take down your men. You can hear all those shots out there. Consider them knocking at the doors of your soul.
Make another roll for me.
Okay. So for this, I don't know that I know sway is my best, but I don't really think this is sway. I feel like this is more either attune or consort. Because I'm trying to kind of I want to put almost a fear of God into them of just you need to listen to what I'm saying, and I'm your only way out of this. So that's why I feel like attune or consort would be.
I would say attune is more so used for communicating with the spirit world and stuff like that. I would say consort is a good choice.
For this, I will take a devil's bargain.
Excellent. So, the nature of the bargain is this. I will give you whatever sort of effect that you would like in exchange for the fact that you are not going to get out of here unscathed anymore.
That's fine.
Okay, so it's a guarantee. Gotcha. Okay. I won't say how or why, but you will become injured at some point during the rest of this mission.
I'm prepared for that. So, consort. What's my position?
I'd say you're in a risky position since the gunfire is sort of distracting her, and you're being suave, but it's not sort of dissuading the nervousness of the gunfight.
And then my effect is great or extreme?
I'll say great.
Okay. I'm going to kind of lean my hand across. I have the other on the top of my cane. Even seated, I'm trying to give an image of oh, little old me, I'm just a priest here to help you. But I'm going to reach across to offer my hand like you would to join in prayer. And just be like, look, I'm here to help you. So let's see, bonus dice, no, right?
Nope.
5.
So it's a partial success. So as you reach out, as you make all these points and you reach out your hand towards her, she reaches to take the hand, but once again, Brill, he steps forward and attempts to intervene, and he's gesturing and pointing at you very, very threateningly in the way that he knows what they don't. This man is a crackpot. He's up to something. I know it. He has something to do with this shooting. And he's pointing, and he's getting very close to the lieutenant. And very ceremoniously, this woman just draws her weapon and with one clean swing takes his hand off puts the sword back into her scabbard, and he is crying and screaming. And as he falls to the floor, she takes hold of your hand in prayer. Let's cut back over to Revenant.
Oh, wow! There's the charm right there. Okay, so I'm cracking into this safe. I can hear the gunshots outside. I do think I would probably just still talk to Meredith as if she's fine. And I would say, as I'm kind of trying to break into this safe, do you see a way out? Am I clear?
Not yet.
Oh, well, great. And I'll just go back to like, so do I need to do anything special to get into this? I use the burglary gear, right, to start cracking the safe.
Indeed, and that would give you that would make your effect from limited to standard. Because attempting to crack into a safe with no tools would be very stupid. So, you're cracking into the safe. How are you justifying this to me? What kind of role would you like to make?
So I think it's gonna come under. Let me just read. I think it would come under wreck because it does say it can be either savage force or carefully applied sabotage. So I feel like it would come that, or it might come under tinker.
So tinkering is specifically picking locks and like cracking into saves.
Yeah.
If you were to wreck, I would suggest using a different tool.
Like a crowbar?
Like explode or demolition tools.
Like demolition tools.
If you have the load for it, that is.
Yeah, I have the load for it. I'm in a normal load. So I have 5 load. And so that would be instead of burglary gear then.
I would say so, yes.
Yeah. So I think that I have 2. So does that take up 2 slots because it's got 2 next to it? Is that correct? Am I reading that right? Okay. In which case, yes, I think I would rather use wreck in terms of I'm not trying to be loud about this in any way, shape, or form. This is not like I'm grabbing a crowbar and just smashing at this safe and hoping. Like this is definitely very like carefully applied force, knowing how to do it, but I think it plays more into strength rather than like dexterity. Which is a little bit more Revenant, I think.
I think so as well. So with explosive supplies, no matter how you're going to take a crack at this, it's going to be loud. So this is where I would call for either leading a group action or calling for an assist.
Can I say that in the process of sneaking towards this, I don't know what this comes under, I have set up some explosives elsewhere that just need to be triggered by a gunshot. So setting up for Meredith to, at the same time as I like make my explosives go off, that explosive needs to go off. Can I say that I've done that?
Let me ask you. This is definitely a flashback, and I really like it. I will ask you one thing that will determine the amount of stress that you will take. Where is this explosive planted?
Ooh. Ooh. I feel like it needs to be somewhere that's going to cause like a place where a concentrated number of them might be held, like a barracks or something, if they're like a very like militant like group, right? Feels like they're almost like a dojo, the way you've kind of described them. So kind of the quarters where a good concentrated supply of them are, so that it will cause a level of like chaos and confusion, so that when I then grab the stuff, I might be able to escape without people really noticing.
Okay. So, inside or outside the building?
I was sneaking. I want to say outside. I want people to go running to over there. Like that was a much bigger lot of explosives that I put over there. Like I want people to concentrate their focus over in that direction. And it wasn't near where Exarch is, because I don't want him caught in the explosion.
Okay, take 2 stress for that flashback.
Yep, that's fine. Oh my god, my stress is building.
That's the idea.
Same. I'm very stressed out right now.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That's what this game is all about,
If
right?
we're already doing team things, I don't want to step on your toes, but like, if we have that they're going to shoot an explode, like Meredith is going to shoot an explosion, so that they can like distract. Can also, when I'm hearing the explosion, just call out in a loud prayer to try and distract them in the very
can we
room.
set it up that it's like a group action, so it sounds like that Exarch somehow like called upon the wrath of a god?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Like,
Just massive explosion.
like there's a code word that like he says, and as he says it out loud, he's also saying it in all of our heads, and that's the moment that we do the thing.
I will gladly take a 1 stress so I can whisper to everyone and just be like, in the name of the anathema, and just like toss out.
So, this is leading a group action, so this would be Revenant leading the group action.
Okay.
Coordinating multiple members of the team to tackle a problem together. You've described how it goes. So each of you are going to make an action roll using the same action, and we're going to take the single best result.
Okay.
Okay.
So
We're all doing the same action.
Yes.
Right.
okay. So what I decided was possibly best was wreck. Is that okay?
Wreck. I have nothing in wreck, but that's fine.
So
It's the best rule, so that's okay.
That's fine.
we could sort of describe Exarch is the one that's a little odd one out here, but I will say that Exarch, you can definitely describe your wreck as literally just like, I don't know, beating the shit out of this non-believer on the floor. I mean, like,
Well,
you can like go crazy with it.
What I'm going to do is I like take their hand, and I'm going to make 2 movements at the same time. I'm going to like move one hand up as in prayer and be like, in the name of the anathema, and like shout as I'm doing it. With my foot beneath the table, I'm kicking him right in the stump of his fucking hand. So I want him to scream while I'm screaming.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely
So
excellent.
if that's a wreck, I feel like that counts.
That's amazing.
Amazing. Okay, so hold on. So I'm rolling wreck. Can you remind me of the position? Was risky?
Risky, but the effect with everybody being involved, I'm gonna say yours is specifically. Actually, I guess it's the same roll, so everybody's would be risky, great.
Risky, great.
Risky, great.
And then
And
zero
no bonus die?
Unless y'all wanted to push for it.
I'm already taking a stress to whisper. I don't.
Did I not get a push from doing a flashback, or does that not?
I believe flashbacks, are they considered push? Let's look that up real quick.
Because otherwise, I've just taken stress for no reason. Or is it just so that I had the thing in place?
Well,
I guess.
The GM sets a stress cost, but it doesn't give a bonus die. It just gives
Let's see.
um,
Flashbacks, they don't distinguish, blah, blah, blah. Nope.
it just affects like your position or the effect.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, so effect great then. All right, I've got 2 dice anyway.
Everybody roll at the same time.
Okay.
Okay.
So we got no bonus dice then, is that correct?
Zero bonus dice.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Right.
I'll click the red thing. Okay, perfect.
Partial. Oh,
All
wait.
4s?
Wait,
Wow.
All
you have
4s?
0?
Did I what?
2 of you have 0 in rack. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
So, yeah, we have as we take the lowest result. So a 1, a 3, and a 4.
So
Oh,
we're
Jesus.
so as a group action, we're actually going to take the highest.
Yeah, which is
God for that.
good.
It's very good.
Okay, well, we it's a success, but there's going to be a consequence, right?
Indeed.
Oh, God.
So the 4 was the highest roll. So you're going to take 1 stress for each player character that rolled 1 to 3 as their best result. So you're going to take 2 stress.
Me
Oof.
personally.
Yes, you.
Okay. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm real stressed out right now.
So the group action result covers everyone who rolls. So everybody had a partial success. So as the explosives go off on the safe, the gunshot happens, and Exarch raises his hands up and just completely and utterly decimates what's left of this guy's arm. The only problem is the place where that explosive was planted just so happened to be the room right below where Exarch is.
Oh no.
Boom, boom, chain explosions. The floor gives out. Exarch, you're going to take level 2 harm,
Okay.
shrapnel, and falling.
Ooh.
Shrapnel and falling.
Mm-hmm.
Do I do 2 separate, or is that in the same thing?
You're going to put it under. It's the same thing. So you're just
Okay.
going to put
Shrapnel, comma, falling.
explosion, either any of those, just anything to describe what the damage you suffered is. That's level 2. So the safe is open. Exarch is injured, and what do you perceive?
I
There's a
feel-
bunch of gold inside there, all
I
in
feel
nice
like
big
I feel
bags.
like the way that came about, just so that we get a little bit of comedy bit, is is that I feel like there was like a fuse that needed to be like lit, and then it would kind of like spread quickly over towards where the explosive would go off, and it'd be like, okay, so you lit the fuse. Yeah, second tower on the left, and then that's after Meredith's shot, and she's like, no, right, it was supposed to be the right tower, and then it just like all goes up.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, so okay, so there's a load of gold, heavy stress, but I'm gonna just start loading up. I'm gonna just start loading up this gold into. I guess I would probably have like a big old sack with me, or like I could get a cart or have a cart or something with me.
Indeed. So we are at the portion of this heist where we're figuring out the getaway.
Mhm.
So Exarch is buried under rubble right now and like crawling his way out amongst the shell shock that he has faced. His ears are ringing. Everybody, there's people around him that are just splattered, and you realize that you've actually suffered the least out of anybody that was involved in the explosion. Exarch, you landed on top of a bunk bed. You're pretty comfy right now, not gonna lie. Everybody else on the floor is just gone, except the lieutenant. This woman just stands herself up very casually, brushes herself off, and scoffs.
As they do that, I'm going to like try and kind of slowly turn and get down, and I have my cane. And I don't need to like put extra effect into how hurt I am. I'm gonna but I'll use my cane to like set myself up to my full height if I can. And look at you. Not even a scratch. You see what the word of Berith can do? And I'm going to be like, please, here. Let's go someplace safe. You and I can talk. And I want to lead them away from where they're going with the getaway. I'm going to lead them in the opposite direction. Be like, please, if you could get some of your men to help me walk. I injured myself pretty bad. And
Not a scratch, except all of these internal injuries.
Yeah.
And I would be like, I think I can help tell you who robbed you. I can help divine it. And I'll hold out my trick cards and be like, I'll do a reading for you. But we need to get to safety.
The only place that I know of that is safe right now is the truck that has just arrived. And I'm afraid that might be overrun at this point. Let's move quickly and stay low to the ground, lest you want to choke in the smoke. She'd lower herself and start, like, pretty much sprinting in a crouch. It's very clear that she was hardly injured, and she's starting to genuinely believe the things that you're saying to her, because somehow in this horrible explosion that's killed a large amount of her men, she's completely unscathed.
As I'm leaving the room and she's like sprinting ahead of me, is Brill still alive?
You don't know.
I'm going to lean back toward the rubble. Brill, if you can hear me, pray to Baruth if you want to survive. And then I'm going to follow after her. I would like to take another stress and whisper to everyone. I'm headed to the truck. Stay away from the truck. Get out a different path.
Oui, mon cœur.
But yeah, I'll take
I really want to whisper
another
back
stress
saying
for that whisper.
"Truck
Oh, yeah, no, you got a whisper from Meredith there. Meredith. Was it?
How are you all escaping? It's Exarch already has his escape planned. How are the rest of you escaping?
How much smoke is in the air right now?
A lot. 2 explosives went off. You were in the room with one of them. Obviously, you have a lot more controlled explosives, but you're not exactly a demolitions expert. So there's a lot of smoke, there's a lot of coughing, and even outside you can hear people coughing.
Okay, does it
I have
sound
an
like
idea.
lots of confused screaming and shouting and
Pandemonium.
pandemonium? Perfect. This is the perfect time to escape. I
have an idea.
Can I
Oh.
ask, this gang, do they wear like this? Do they wear like a uniform? Do they have like
the
an
red
identity?
sashes.
Yes, they wear uniforms. They wear like really nice pressed uniforms with they look like old school like chevaliers. You know, like they're real fancy looking.
All right, I want to grab. So I'm going to take the gold. I've got the gold. I want to head back out the door and grab one of the like shirts from one of the people, like the bodies that are out there. And I want to pop it on, and I want to just get into the chaos. Gold slung over my shoulder in a big old Santa Claus looking sack.
Your position, desperate. Your effect,
Yep.
great.
Position desperate, effect great. Oh boy, I don't think I can. I don't think I can push myself anymore.
I'm not gonna lie, I do believe that this would be a sway.
A sway?
Yeah, specifically sway someone with charm, logic, deception, disguise, or bluff. You are attempting to sway the people that are still alive. There's a lot of people still alive. You haven't like completely wiped these guys out, by the way.
No, I know.
It's a large building.
Oh no, I have 0 in sway.
It ought to be fun, regardless of the role. Don't be afraid of failing in this game. It's gonna be fun, right? Regardless. I'm not gonna kill your character's third one.
Or make a devil's bargain.
Yeah, you could make a devil's bargain with me.
I could make a devil's bargain with you, couldn't I? What would that give me? An extra die?
I just let you automatically succeed.
Ooh. Ooh.
But then there'll be a consequence.
Yes.
You tell me what that consequence is?
No.
Alex got to hear what his consequence is going to be.
Well,
I know. Did you say I'm taller than you?
No.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the most terrifying thing you've said to me. His was an injury. Okay. I am going to. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a devil's bargain. Why not? I'm gonna make a devil's bargain, and it's gonna come in the form of her muttering to herself, "Come on, Rego, help me out here."
So you're gonna get a bonus die for the devil's bargain.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought it was automatic success.
As we said.
If not, then I might as well just roll normally.
For this specific occasion, I am going to override the rules and say that it is going to be an automatic success because it's going to be a steep price to pay.
Oh no!
Do it. Do it.
Oh no!
Come on, let's get right in the deep end in the first episode.
Fuck it! I'm gonna do it. Why not?
Yes.
Come on, we're in a bit. You already said I'm in a desperate situation. I'm taking the gold. I've got the knife. Anything else in that room that interests me while I'm there?
I would like for you to make a roll anyway. It is
Of
going to be
what?
successful, but I would like to see it.
Of sway.
Yeah, it's a sway with an added die.
If I
so
roll a
you'd be rolling
6,
one
I'm
die.
gonna be pissed.
No, that'd be good.
This rule is
That'd be good.
Good.
That can help
Okay.
negate some of the
So
bullshit.
we said desperate,
Uh-huh.
and we said great,
Yeah.
and there's no bonus die.
One bonus die.
A single
One.
bonus die, yes.
Single bonus die
From the devil's bargain.
from the devil's bargain.
This can also be where one of you can assist to get her an extra dice, because right now she's just rolling one.
Well, I don't know if this counts, but I was actually going to somehow tie in indulging on Meredith's vice.
Don't worry about that right now. That is for
Yeah,
now.
That's a thing I think that you do like in downtime, isn't it?
Okay, well, I still could have. I have an idea where she's basically going to start hunting the people in the smoke by using. She's going to use the crow that she has, and she's going to have it hover above where, because I'm assuming it can see better than she can. It's going to hover above where someone is, and she's just going to take pot shots at roughly about underneath where the crow is, and just start like taking shots into the smoke.
Gotcha. Okay, we are.
Oh my god, you know what the most terrifying idea of that is? If the crow lands on the head of the person and then they get shot and then it flies off.
I had that thought, but because it's covered in smoke, it's better that it hovers above where that person is.
Okay, so using a cohort, you're going to roll their quality.
Bitches, I don't know.
As
don't think we-
a hound, let's see here. I believe as a hound, it's 1 right now.
Okay. I'm looking for where do I roll?
In crew mode, if I remember correctly.
It is an expert hunter. Let's see.
Yeah. So at the top of the sheet, you'll say character mode. Click on that and go to crew mode, and you'll see cohorts.
Oh yeah.
So
Where
if
is it
you're
there?
directing it with orders, you roll command.
Roll
Oh.
command.
Mhm.
Where's my command? Okay, there it is. What would the position be?
It is going to be. So nobody knows that you're here yet, but you are going into a burning building. So I'm going to say it's risky, and I'm going to say the
Okay.
effect is standard. Actually, yeah, that'd be fine. Instead of counting this as assist, we'll say that this is just sort of playing into Kat's action, and it'll help her out. So
Okay. And bonus die, I don't think I have any.
no, go ahead and take 1 stress anyway. So we're kind of flavoring this as an assist.
Okay.
Damn it! I thought I got
Then-
rid of Flatfoot. 3. Okay. So your bird is not going to obey you. Flying directly into
Oh,
smoke
shit.
would sort of cause it to panic. You are still in the midst of all of these people, however, and you're expecting your bird to help you out, and you don't see it. So you see these figures moving in the smoke and panic and the like. But you've definitely drawn attention to yourself by just walking into this burning building. Kat, let's go back over to your action.
Okay.
Also, you're all going to suffer a level of harm. You're going to suffer a level of harm. First level harm, choking smoke.
All of it?
Did I put that in the second
No,
column?
just Meridius. Yeah, you put that in the column to the right. So now
Okay.
you have your first level harm thing filled up. You're going to have less effect on all of your rolls.
God damn it.
It happens.
Okay.
But that's not good.
No, it's fine.
So I have 2 bonus dice because one from being helped. Did that help me?
Yes. So now you're rolling 2 total die for this.
Okay. And it's going to be the lowest number, isn't it? Because I have a 0 in that thing.
No, so now you have 2 bonus die, so you're just rolling 2 die.
Okay. 4.
4. Nice. So you find the uniform, the shirt that you're looking for, and the sash, and this person looks weirdly uninjured until you get closer to them and you start seeing through the smoke that their entire head has just been exploded. You're not exactly sure how or why, because nothing that you did would lead to such an effect. But as you strip them of their uniform and the like, they just sort of slink to the ground, completely lifeless. They look drained. They looked completely emaciated. And you feel something as you're heading out. You're heading out with confidence. Nobody's bothering you. You're wearing the uniform. You're heading out. You got the gold over your shoulder. Mission success. But you feel like somebody's following you, and you keep looking over your shoulder, and you keep looking over your shoulder. There's nobody there, but you swear that there is somebody following you. You just can't see them. And as you leave the building, as you're on the outside, on the street, you look back one last time to see a pair of glowing yellow eyes staring at you from deep in the smoke. And then they just, with the blink of an eye, they disappear.
Oh, well, shit.
Oh,
That doesn't seem good. Not a pair of glowing eyes that brings me comfort, I guess.
No.
No.
Not a familiar pair of
Right.
glowing eyes.
No, definitely not. Okay. All right. So but I'm out.
You are outside. Yep. You're done.
I'm out, everyone. It's all good. That's going to come to bite me in the ass, but it's fine.
Okay, let's see here. I believe that sort of concludes this heist, unless there's anything else that we would like to do. Mission success.
I have one tiny thing that I want to do.
By all means.
As I get to the truck, because I assume I'm going to basically, I'm going to meet up with the rest of them later because I'm going to spend a little bit with this woman. But I want to use my trick cards and give them essentially a false card reading. Be like, I'm seeing obviously chaos, loss, betrayal, sure. These things will come in time to all of us, but I'm seeing 2 allies, people you can trust. And I'm going to be kind of dramatic about it, and not just myself, but also just be like, it looks like they're a light. I'm gonna think for a moment. Do we know any? Well, there's no more lamplighters. And I'm going to try and just be like, maybe you should trust, not just ally with me and pray to Berith, but maybe you should trust and ally yourself with the Lamplax by giving them a false card reading.
Smart.
So I'm trying to basically be like, oh, all of this chaos, that was someone else. And the Lamplax are actually the ones you should trust.
I'm going to put you in a controlled position, and I'm going to give you a... How about extreme effect?
Okay, this is a sway.
I would say so.
Okay, I'm gonna push myself one more time.
Actually, so you're using one item. This person, so probably just standard effect. Now that I'm thinking about it, but standard effect can still do something that you like.
Okay, control position, standard effect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I said I'm gonna push myself for a die.
Gotcha. So that's 2 extra stress.
That's fine. 5.
As you're giving this reading, there's sort of the crackle of fire and the whoosh and crash of wooden beams falling in the building behind. It's not completely ruined. It's just a good sector of it is. And she looks at the reading, shakes her head, and considers that for a moment until she starts hearing people from inside the building calling out for help. And she looks between Exarch in the building. She gives you a nod, and she runs inside.
As she's running, I'll be like, just pray about it. And I'll put the cards away and then going to get out of the truck and get the fuck out of here.
Excellent work. So, completed the score.
Yes.
You return so you have 12 coin, which 12 coin is like a sort of arbitrary measurement of wealth. 12 coin's a lot of money, but you're going to get to keep 4 of it for the trouble.
Okay.
So, let's move into one of the most amazing parts of this game, the downtime. So, payoff. So you get 4 gold. How would you like to divide that? Are you going to put it just all into the crew coffers, or are you going to each take 1 and then deposit 1 into the coffers? How are we going to do this?
If we're gonna split it, I'm gonna put mine into the coffers. I don't need anything.
I don't think I need anything, so mine could probably go into the coffers as well.
Yeah, I would probably put mine in the coffers. We like building ourselves at this point, so I feel like crew coffers makes the most sense.
Indeed. So now you have 4 gold in your crew coffers, so make sure all of you are keeping track of that.
We had 1 already, didn't we? Because we were given 2, and then we were told you could either pay those 2 to the blue coats who are running the area, pay just 1, which is the necessary tithe, and keep 1, or pay nothing. And I think we just paid 1, so I think we have 5.
You should have 5 gold, yes.
We have
5 altogether, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we have to put 1 in the vault.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So let's so now that we've sort of distributed your wealth that you've gained, let's look at heat.
The whole
Heat is a way to reflect how much attention you've drawn upon yourselves for the crime that you've committed or what you've done during the heist. 0 heat would be smooth and quiet. 2 heat would be contained, standard exposure. 4 would be loud and chaotic, high exposure. And 6 would be wild, devastating exposure. You're going to gain 4 heat. It's not loud and chaotic.
I don't know it was us.
For each time you fill up your heat bar, you gain a wanted level.
Where? Oh, there's 4 heat.
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
It's fine. We're doing just fine, folks. We're fine.
I'm sorry. Add 1 heat for a high profile or well-connected target. No. Add 1 heat for the situation happened on hostile turf. So that's going to be 5. Add 1 heat if you're at war with another faction, you're not at war. And add 2 heat if killing was involved. So you're going to take a grand total of 7 heat. I apologize.
Can I, for the fact that I push it on saying that the spirit wardens did this, can I reduce that by 1? Can I argue that? Because I had twice that I pushed for that. I said at the first, and she trusted me. Then I said it again at the end with the card reading, being like, okay, there's this, and I had with the map that I gestured to it, and I also had. It's like you can trust the Lamplax and try to push all the chaos on the Spirit Wardens.
Fair. That's a fair argument.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Whew.
So 6 heat.
Yes.
6 heat for being involved, but they don't know that we did it.
I mean, I did meet with and speak for a long time to the leader, so like they know of me at least.
Right. So, thank you for the posture check.
Yeah, thank you.
So, heat obviously works the same as stress does, but it has levels. So, wanted levels 1 through 4. 1 is you spend a month or 2 in jail. Wanted level 4 goes all the way up to just life in prison or execution. So,
Oh.
okay, so we've done the payoff, we've done the heat. So now we're going to go and do entanglements. So you're going to face trouble from rival factions, the law, and the city itself. So let's look and see how that happens.
Ooh.
Okay.
Where's entanglements on the list?
Do we look in faction mode?
This is something that I'm looking. I roll a number of dice
Oh,
equal to wanted level and use the result to. So you're not wanted. So I only roll 2 die and I keep the lowest of the 2 results. So would somebody else like to roll the die?
I'll roll.
By all means. I don't want to roll at all. I just like
2d6?
sitting here and narrating things. Yes, please. 3.
That's a 3.
Okay, so your heat from that mission was 6.
6, yeah.
So the result that you got. Okay, I got it. So entanglements are going to manifest before you guys even have a chance to completely avoid them. So let's see. I'll come back to that. All of you are at your lair now, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's cut back to where you're actually just leaving the Lamplax, like citadel, if you could call it that. It's just a giant warehouse. As you step outside and you're sort of making your way back, and you're all probably at least somewhat happy about the reward that you earned, you see a fellow in a large gray coat with a sort of gentleman's hat and a very large, prominent, like walrus mustache. Like this thing is huge. I'm talking like Tom Selleck would be jealous. So he approaches and he has a couple of blue coats to his left and his right. He has his hands tucked into his pockets. He's kind of a portlier fellow. His the extra skin beneath his chin is sort of piling up over the collar of his shirt.
I'll take a step forward. I will say, if we're not currently on a heist, I have my mask set in my bag. I'm not currently wearing it. So it's like they see Luther as he is, well, as they are, excuse me. And for Luther, they're like tall. There's a handsomeness there, but it's also strained by like an intensity in his look, and then there's an intensity in like their there's some gaunt features. They have like little wisps of like silver and gray, even with before they've really gotten old enough to have had it. But I will like take a few steps forward, like leading with my cane. Yes, seems you're looking to speak to us.
That would be correct. I'm senior investigator Ivory Gronow. I have reason to believe that there are some. He'd look over to the 2 blue coats that were with him. There's a bit of civil unrest since the death of a prolific gang member.
Oh, I can imagine there is. I say a few words for the city soul every night. I'm no stranger to the criminal type. I work at Ironhook. Tell me, senior investigator, excuse me. How might I help you in such an auspicious charge?
You seem like the face of this motley trio. Would I be incorrect?
Well, I don't know that this is a face anyone would want out in front, but, well, I have my lovely bride, and of course, this is an associate of mine who keeps after my health. I've taken more than a few lashes in my day, and I'll, like, lean forward on the cane to kind of, like I said, impose myself a little bit like, oh, I need help getting around.
I'll come forward at that point with a little a skin of water and pass it over.
And I'll say, oh, thank you, and then set it back.
I'd like to ask you a few questions, if that's all right.
I'd be happy to answer them. If
Perhaps
it'll bring
somewhat
more
a bit more
peace to this
comfortable?
city's soul, it's a worthwhile endeavor. You a man of the faith, senior investigator?
No, I'm not. And I don't mean to be rude, but you talk a bit too much. So, I would like for you to come to my office. Somewhere more comfortable.
Well, I'll turn back to the others. Do we have any appointments we need to get to?
No.
All right, senior investigator, lead the way.
As one of the blue coats comes over and like puts his hand on your back and like he's like one of the blue coats seems to be genuinely like convinced that you're just like a feeble old man.
And I'll gently kind of reach over and pat to his shoulder. Oh, thank you, my child. I try not to let it show, but as I said, I took more than a few injuries back on the way before I reached Duskfall.
I'm going to turn to the senior investigator and I'm going to say, will this take long? Afternoon prayers are in an hour.
I'm afraid you'll have to go without.
Whew. I think she's just trying to get a gauge of how long this guy is planning to like keep us for and how intense the questioning might be.
He doesn't really seem like he has any evidence. He doesn't know any of you people's names. He just saw that you left this place that is a point of contention in his investigation. So this young man is like leading leading Exarch along. Come on, sir. It's not that far of a walk. There's a carriage up the street.
And I'll go and I'm going to keep at a decent pace. I'm not trying to like be outrageous with it, but I did hurt myself, so I have a limp and I'm going.
Yeah, you look kind of decrepit. You're like covered in soot and stuff like that too. Like you're not exactly
Yeah. And I'll when we get to the office, I'm going to take a moment and I'll hand my my pack actually to Meredith. Be like, please, Rook, can you watch over my things while we're inside? I'm having difficulty carrying them.
What everyone else would interpret as a very blank stare. There's like a very slight like movement in her the crow-like mask that she's currently wearing. There's like a very slight nod.
So here's where we move forward with the mechanical side of the interrogation.
Mm-hmm.
You can either pay these guys off with 3 coins. They beat the shit out of you and you take a level 2 harm. And you tell them what they want to know. And you get 3 heat if you do that. And you can resist each of the consequences separately, of course.
Oh damn! None of those things sound like good things, Red. But
No.
I'd rather pay the coin, if I'm being honest. I mean, it sucks, but like, we're not. It's like we can get more coin. I don't want to take any more heat. We have plenty as it is. After such a crazy thing, I'd rather just pay the money.
Yeah.
And I already have level 2 harm, so if I do that, I'm gonna have a -1 dice on all my rolls, and I can't deal with that.
Yeah, like I think I'm probably the only one that can take the harm and be fine.
Relatively speaking.
And would it be like we couldn't just choose one person to take the harm, like everyone takes the harm?
No, it would be one person.
Okay. It would be one person.
Yeah, so it would be Exarch taking the harm since he's the one that's being brought in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I'd rather pay them off.
Just to check, I wouldn't be able to like volunteer to take the harm on Exarch's behalf.
If Exarch were to call you in and say, "Hey, could you tell them some bullshit and take a little bit of a beating for me?" Yeah, that would be fine.
I absolutely would not do that.
Okay.
So like I know
In
how
which
cool and
case-
tough you are, but like I'm not doing that.
In which case, let's pay them the gold and just be like, okay, yeah, obviously the church's needs are great, but your needs are greater.
Yeah,
We might have fucked up.
I'll make a stance of like just trying to play it off like, oh, I understand the concept of tithing. Perhaps the next time you go and pray, this tithe will help you, and I'll pay them off.
You're off the hook for now.
Well, I'm glad we could have a wonderful agreement, Senior Investigator.
Private Reichert, I'll escort you back to the street.
I'll give him a. Hi, please, if you could, Private Reichert.
Reichert is the fellow that's been like nothing but amicable with you. Like he's just been a super nice, sweet young man, and he's got completely clean shaven. It's very clear that he's not privy to the corruption going on in the Blue Coats just yet.
Yeah. As we're walking, you a man of faith, Private?
I wouldn't say so. Not particularly.
I've been in Duskfall for a long time. Like I said, I serve at Ironhook, helping leading souls that are going into the final stretches of what we call eternity. Sometimes a man can get lost in the city and seem unsure, but you've got a good head on your shoulders. I'm happy to see it. I just want you to remember, if we're ever lost, there's always prayer to be a guiding light. And there's no brighter light than that of Berith. The anathema will help you. You need only ask.
He just like purses lips and nod, like, okay.
And I'm going to, like, as decrepit as I've looked, just, I can see you've got a bright future ahead of you. That warms the heart. I'll be keeping an eye on you, Private. And I will head off. And as soon as I get and reach, I'll take my pack back from Meredith and just be like, bastard shook us down for plenty of coin, but let's just get the hell out of here.
Let's move to downtime activities. So each of you are going to have 2 downtime activities. So acquire asset, long-term project, recover, reduce heat, train, or indulge your vice. But actually, I think we still need to do one last thing. The score.
Okay, we need to take 3 coin away as well, don't we?
We do. So it's going to be 2 in the coffers.
We had 5, so 2.
We made a coin.
For how much of a shit show that became, I'm happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, okay. Let's go over our. Actually, no, we're fine. Okay, we're doing fine. Downtime activities. Okay, who would like to go first?
Someone else.
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Okay, we're just gonna
Okay.
do 1, 1, 1, and then go around and until we're done with all of our
Okay.
downtime activities.
I already mentioned it before, but she's going to indulge in her vice, which is weird and bird related.
Weird and bird related.
Yeah, she's got a bird over in Whitechapel.
I think she's going to spend like most of her time resting up in the is it the aviary that we have?
Yeah,
Just kind of like going around and like feeding the birds and like trying to train them to do various things. That kind of thing.
so let's see. So you're just tending to the birds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So we're gonna roll to find out how much stress relief your character receives. A vice roll is like a resistance roll in reverse. Rather than gaining stress, you clear stress. So the effectiveness of your indulgence depends on your character's worst attribute rating. So insight, prowess, or resolve.
Inside Paris resolve.
Which I believe
They're all the
is resolve.
same. See
Well,
the little bar?
Because so insight and prowess would be 2 because you have 2 pips and 2 different skills in each of those, and your lowest would be resolve because you only have 1 point in that, and that's in command. So I believe that would just be a resistance. Just go ahead and click on resolve.
Okay. And then no bonus die, just a straight roll.
Just a straight up roll.
Okay. 6.
Nice. Okay. So instead of suffering 6 stress minus the highest die, you actually lose that much stress.
Oh my god, she's like not stressed at all.
No, it's completely cool. So down to 1 stress. You come back to all your birds, and the birds are genuinely happy to see you, and you just use what you have, like a little bit of the pocket change that you managed to scavenge from the whole endeavor that wouldn't damage your coffers, and you use that to buy some high quality bird food.
Just watching her come into the aviary like from the front door with this big bag of bird seeds. Just everyone else in the background working on really weird shit, and she just working with bird seeds in a sack.
That's fair. I mean, there's no complication to your stress relief since you rolled a 6 and you didn't overindulge. So yeah, you're doing just fine. Okay. Do we want to do revenants next?
Sure. I think I would also like to indulge my vice.
I do encourage you all to keep in mind that if you do reach maximum stress, you actually get like a trait that changes how your character is played, and it also allows you to get more XP. It creates for more interesting role play. I'm not going to discourage you from keeping your stress down. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Just keep in mind that if you do overstress or stress out, as it were, you get a trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. We're only at the beginning. And, you know, I might not lose that much heat and still end up with a trauma because I am literally 1 off of a trauma right now.
Yeah.
So I might just only lose like 1 heat and then one stress and then just be like, well, getting traumatized next session, everyone.
Time to trauma.
Because a lot of my like abilities and stuff end up and I end up, you know, stressing myself out a lot. So. Yeah, I would like to try to indulge in my vice. I took your advice on board, and I've gone for luxury. In that, I think that like my character, I think that Ivania is very like she's a person of very simple needs for the most part. Like she doesn't wear extravagant anything, no extravagant clothing, extravagant anything, but she is obsessed with antique and interesting looking weaponry, particularly knives and daggers. She can't. She's like a magpie when she sees one. She simply has to have it or study it or see it. And so she's just acquired a very interesting looking dagger. And I think that she has there's like maybe a shop that kind of deals with interesting knives and weaponry, and she sometimes goes there and like trades things that she's found for better looking ones, or like she kind of enjoys being in there and just looking at all the shiny blades. Basically.
Wonderful. So, do you have a particular purveyor of these knives that you like, or is it just like random people that you stumble?
I think I have. I think I go to a few different places, but I do think that she has one particular one that she goes to all the time. It's just they have the best selection, the weirdest, the quirkiest, and no one else really goes there. It's like one of those businesses that's like when you go in there, it's always empty, and you wonder how the hell that they've managed to stay open for the last 25 years, because like it doesn't seem like they have any customers.
Have enough.
Clearly.
So the woman at the counter is completely tattooed up. She has a completely shaved head, and she has tattoos covering her head as well. She has copper skin, and you can see that the hair that is coming in is thick and dark. And she's very excited that one of her favorite customers has come in, and she points at you. I've got a piece that I know you'll like. She'd reach under the counter and set this very bizarre and wicked looking knife down. It's not made out of metal. It looks like it's made out of bone. It's hard to tell what kind of bone it's made out of, but it's got this big sweeping curved blade, and on the back of it there's a hook, and it's clearly sharpened. This is from the Dagger Isles. It's said to be something that they use to hunt the ghosts. Do you know that on the Dagger Isles, they don't have a lightning barrier? They just fight off the spirits. That's what this very weapon was used for.
Wow. And like she genuinely means it. Like I think she normally has a very like passive, like uninterested voice. She just doesn't sound like she's like into anything, but like her whole demeanor completely changes when she walks in here. She's like a 10-year-old person just admiring like a sweet shop. Like she's got this like look of wonder on her face. She's interested in everything. That this woman could be selling her a whole crock of shit. She doesn't care. Like she's like more interested in the story of it, even if it's complete fabrication. Like she actually doesn't care if it's true one way or another. And she kind of, can I touch it?
She gesture like, go right ahead.
Like she kind of grabs it, swings it around, kind of plays with it around her fingers. I have something you might like. And she pulls out what she found while we were on the heist.
She nods in approval and holds out her hand like so she can examine it. I like these.
I think this woman is her hero. Like she wants to be. If she wasn't a thief, she would want to be a knife collector, and like this is this is what she aspires to be. Like she's like, did I do good?
Where'd you get these?
If I tell you where I get my knives, then you go get them, and then I don't have anyone to admire them, no?
Ah, clever girl. She'd nod, and she was just like looking it over and like, it's Imperium design. It's definitely antiquated, probably used during the Civil War period.
The Civil War.
Fair trade.
She has no idea what that means. but she thinks it sounds important, so she's like, "That's amazing." And yeah, I think she just kind of chats with this woman and she probably indulges in kind of spending a little bit too much time around here. If trading in that knife will get her an interesting knife, then she'll do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she would definitely just be like super willing to just trade. Like, obviously she's a little bit like excited, so she's completely missing the fact that like this is probably not a fair deal. But
yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like the relationship between her and this woman does like con her out of, like, she's definitely giving her things of less value than she's taking from Ivania, but she kind of maybe has a bit of a soft spot for her as well. Like she's stealing from her, but at the same time she's like, you know what, this girl appreciates knives in the same way that I do. So
this is Aruvian. She did not. Like she was still just gawking about the blade. Anyway, I don't want to keep you. Be on your way then.
All right, I'll see you next time. I guess I have to roll for this.
Yes, so you're gonna pick.
Sounds like I got really de-stressed. So imagine I'm just not gonna get de-stressed at all.
I gotta get
One.
One.
So you're gonna roll 2 die. Take the lowest.
Okay.
So click on insight for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's your lowest attribute, isn't it?
Indeed.
And do you know what? It makes sense that it would be insight given the nature of this interaction. So I'm rolling 2 bonus die or 1 bonus die?
None. You're just rolling straight up insight.
Straight up insight. Okay. Oh!
So you're gonna lose 1 stress.
Yay! Holy fun! I knew this was gonna happen. Okay.
Clearing stress is not easy, to be fair.
No. All right. Marginally less stressed. Like, I feel like she comes out of there. She looks so distressed. And the moment that she walks out and she sees just the city and how gloomy everything is, she can hear people being beaten up and like really close. And she's just like, oh.
Back again.
So many
Wrong.
souls to save.
Moving over to Exarch.
Okay. First thing I want to do is reduce our heat.
Okay.
I'm going to basically have our crew go around and spread the word like, oh, the Whisperers are people you can trust. Like, they weren't involved in all this nonsense. They were actually helping people and try and point out like, oh, I got this red sash like out of the building, but like also, you know, we already know what we've done with the Lamplax. Like, try and just be like, we're cool people who, you know, are awesome and ain't never done nothing to nobody. So can I do a sway for that?
Yeah, so reduce heat is you're just sort of, obviously you're trying to like move some people. So let's see here. So we're gonna reduce the heat according to the results. So who are you attempting to get in contact with in order to help you reduce the heat?
So what I'm thinking is I know Clara, the tavern owner, and just be like, hey, look, people are passed through, be like, oh, like all this stuff going on, be like, no, it's, you know, it's like the Whisperers had nothing to do with that. They were helping people, like they're cool, and just get the heat off of us by like spreading rumors while people are out drinking at the tavern.
So in that particular case with Clara, since you're using a friend to help you, you take a bonus die to this roll.
Okay. So, sway, and then it's just controlled fortune roll? No, that's not right.
I was gonna say it's just going to be. I'm not worried. Just do risky standard. We're not worried about that.
And then 1 bonus die.
Yes.
4. So I can reduce our heat by 2, I think.
2. Yes.
Okay, I'll take it.
So you're down to 4 heat.
Okay, but yeah, I'm just going to go and speak with Clara and just be like, oh, I just want to make sure the word gets out about what we were actually doing there. Such a mess. I think Bareth, I could actually be in a position to help someone, but well, that's just the way of the world. You try and lend a hand to someone in need, and then you go around hearing about how that hand is trying to pick someone's pocket. It's a harsh place we live in here in Tusqually. And I just hope people get the truth of what happened.
She'd just nod and sort of like lean on the counter. She's a more motherly woman, a bit portly. She's like in her late 40s, and she just sort of looks at you like she just very akin to the way that you can see through people's lies. She
Yeah,
can just see right through your bullshit, and she knows.
She knows I'm full of shit, but like, she also knows to play ball. My friend.
She was a part of the refugee war with the Scotland people, so she's seen a lot of bullshit, and she knows how to deal with people like you, and she considers you a friend because you've done right by her. So, you want me to tell people that you were doing something good there?
I just want people to realize that I can be a friend in a time of need, not an enemy.
So you want me to get the rumor mill started?
I can spread hymnals all day, every day, but a good old-fashioned whispered word in an establishment such as this, now that'll convert a few souls.
I will see what I can do. Get out of here before I change my mind about you.
And I'll give an award-winning smile and like lean over. I'll say a prayer for you, and bless you, and I'll leave.
Shit heel. You hear her say that as you're walking your way out the door.
And as she's saying that, I'll like as I'm walking, I just whisper to myself, "Whore," and I will like.
Fantastic.
So back on to the next round of downtime activities. Let's start with Merides again.
Back on our bullshit.
Back on our bullshit.
Oh yeah. Really quickly, what were the other things that you could do in downtime?
So you have acquire asset, long-term project, recover, which reduces your harm, reduce heat, and train.
I should probably recover, but I have a question to ask.
Yes.
This is a year before silencers were invented, right?
Suppressors can exist. I mean, it's not any. I mean, it's not a real world setting. So use your imagination.
Right. Okay. I'll go on the assumption that they are a thing. Could I use acquire an asset to try and procure one?
Absolutely, and this gains a temporary use of an asset.
That works.
So,
I mean,
so what you would do is you would roll your tier.
Tier.
But the problem is your tier is right now is 0. So acquiring an asset, you'd roll 2 die and take the lower of the 2.
I'm gonna try it. So just rolling 2d6.
And we take the lowest of the 2 results.
Let's see if I can get one. How do I? That one. Oops, that's not right. I got this.
I have faith.
There we go. Hey!
Oh. Okay.
Surprise.
Let's see. So you're actually gonna get. One of 3.
It's -1, so it's just flat tier. Is the quality.
So the quality tier is the base. So it's going to be, yep. So yeah, it's just gonna be regular old tier 0, but it's still good. So you're getting your hands on a suppressor, is what you're.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'd say that you can get your hands on one that'll function for at least the duration of a mission, but extended use of this thing is probably just going to absolutely burn it out. You meet with a, let's see, you meet with a strange fellow with very dark skin, and he has these bright white tattoos sort of on his face. And you walk into his shop, which seems kind of like nestled between two massive windowless tenement buildings, and you just hear him messing with a bunch of metal scrap and the like. And as you walk in, he's very short, and he casts his gaze up at you. The whites of his eyes are a little bit yellow.
She's just standing there, like with his mask on, just like, hi. Bonjour. She's waiting for a reply, by the way. She's like staring at him.
Speak your business.
I am to acquire a suppressor for a. She takes the rifle off and shows the top.
A weapon of high quality. You step out from behind the counter, and you seem to be taking genuine interest now that you've shown him a cool weapon. He'd come over and not even asking permission, he'd just take hold of it and start looking at it.
She's still got her hand on it, but she's just like, let it lurch forward. I need it to not be so loud.
Thank you, Omni. Much love, brother. We'll get you in here shortly.
We miss you.
I can do this. I can make it quiet. All I ask is that you allow me to deconstruct this weapon.
This is just a slight head tilt.
I want to take it apart and put it back together. I want to see how it functions. This is a fine piece of weaponry.
If you cannot put it back together, I get to put a bullet in your head.
And if I do put it back together, I give you this suppressor you are looking for.
Deal.
He'd hold out one of his big mitt-like hands to shake, and his hands were as calloused as 180 grit sandpaper. Very rough. Not super rough, but rough enough.
I think she'll give a very firm and quite authoritative handshake.
He proceeds behind the counter and lifts up this massive toolbox, opens it up, and he has just this multitude of screwdrivers, tools, pliers, all these different parts. And it seems the body language and the words that he was using, it seems like he's never taken apart a weapon like this before. But he still just he pops in one of those like I don't remember what they're called. Yeah, the jewelers. And he leans forward and just starts masterfully taking this thing apart, bit by bit. And he's got like a little brush, and he's like cleaning it and oiling it as he's going. And he puts it back together. You swear, this very intricate piece of it's almost like clockwork how over-engineered that this weapon is. He puts it back together in about 5 minutes after taking it apart.
Huh. I never should have doubted you.
Never doubt me, girl. He'd point at you, and he'd grab out this big, strange, hulking device. It looked like a giant rectangular. It's a giant prism almost. Take this, slide on the end of the barrel, screw. It should last you at least 10, 20 shots.
This is more than enough.
They do not design suppressors for weapons like this. It is very, how they say in the Imperium, bespoke.
Hmm.
Put it to good use.
Merci. I'm trying to think if we've got any. You don't have anything interesting going, but I like kind of very awkwardly, Ginger just puts a feather, like a crow feather, on the desk and walks out. It's like very like.
What's heavier? Kilogram of steel, kilogram of feathers. It's the steel. The steel's heavier than feathers.
No, you don't understand, right? They're both a kilogram.
But steel is heavier than feathers. I love that skit so much. Anyway, let's go over to revenue.
I will say a pound of steel is heavier than a pound of gold because gold is weighed on a different scale. So it literally is less for a pound of gold.
That's a fair point.
Huh? I didn't know that. I've learned today.
What you up to, Revenant?
I would like to train.
Train, okay.
I feel like that feels very Revenant.
So you're spending time in training, so you're going to mark 1 XP on the track for an attribute or playbook advancement. Let's see here. So if you have the appropriate crew training upgrade, you know. Actually, do you guys have the crew training upgrade?
I don't know.
Oops, sorry. Don't believe so. You have quarters and secure. You don't have like a place to.
Damn.
We have resolve in training marked off.
That's right. Yes. Okay. So what would you?
So
like
if I wanted to, I guess if I wanted to do it to resolve, then I would have it, but otherwise no.
Or you could just straight up put points into your playbook advancement.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do anyway. Because that's for the special abilities, right?
Yes, that's how you get your more special abilities along the lines of.
So I wanted to mark an XP towards special abilities.
Okay, so you get 1 XP there. How are you training? You want to describe that to me?
So, well, I think it really just comes down to this brand new knife that Revenant has managed to secure herself. I think that she is just basically learning to use it. That's another reason why she likes so many different types of weapons. She enjoys learning to use different weapons. The purveyor mentioned that it was like used against like spirits and things like that. So I feel like she would start to try to connect with it in a way that might like tap into its more spiritual abilities, and be learning to be a bit more like, oh, just in case. And I think that what that comes from is those glowing yellow eyes. Even though she didn't know what they were, I'm assuming she continued to look behind her as they were kind of like making their escape and didn't see anything, but continued to have that feeling that she was being watched. Since then, she's gone to a number of places by herself in the hopes that whatever this thing is that she feels like is watching her will just like make itself known so that she can deal with it. But nothing has happened. So it's getting to like a point now where she's becoming more and more unnerved, and she feels like she has to like unlock her fighting a little bit more. Like, I might have to deal with something that is not like flesh and bone in the same way. So she's kind of trying to focus her training on that a bit.
Okay, so go ahead and mark that. Yeah, okay, you already marked the XP down. So I'm imagining you're sort of like outside. Are you inside of the headquarters? Are you outside? I say headquarters. Lair is a more appropriate term. Are you inside?
I think she's outside. I think she's gone to try and find like somewhere like a quiet alley intersection where she knows it's like that no one really goes down. Because if people do go down there and start trying to fight, like start trouble with her, she can deal with them.
Absolutely. So you're just sort of practicing your movements and maneuvers, and you're thrusting with this thing and swinging it around. Something doesn't feel quite right about this blade. Not that it's like supernaturally so. It's just so much lighter than the things that you've used previously. It's not made of metal. It doesn't have that sort of denseness to it. It's you'd think that bone, depending, would be a bit more heavy, but this thing moves around like nothing. It's like an extension of the hand. And you feel a presence in the alleyway with you, but it's a familiar presence. It's not the that sort of unnerving yellow eye. That was
this one is a comforting presence.
Yes. In the darkness, just out of complete eyesight, you see a figure standing there, a familiar figure, and for a moment you see a lighter strike up and just spark and show off the face of someone familiar to you. It's not Grandma's femur. It's okay. Thank you, Catman Joe. We love Catman.
We do.
All right, I'm going to show you guys for the first time. I actually did a painting of Bareth for you.
Oh! That looks cool.
Oh, that's terrifying. Okay.
Oh, I love that.
Oh. The boy. It's the boy himself.
Well, I mean, that looked absolutely terrifying, but Ivania doesn't even flinch. In fact, she gives this sort of slight smile of like recognition and continues to kind of almost ignore it for a couple of moments more. And then she looks up. I'm trying to concentrate.
I can see that.
I think I'm being followed.
I noticed.
You noticed I'm being followed? Or you noticed I think I'm being followed?
I know that you're being followed.
Do you know what's following me?
Not exactly.
Did I do something wrong?
We're always doing things wrong in the eyes of someone.
And then she looks genuinely a little bit like worried for a moment. And did I do something wrong in your eyes?
What I have of my eyes that have reformed? I don't believe so.
She breathes like a small sigh of relief. This knife feels strange.
Why do you think that is?
It's lighter than I'm used to. Is it magical?
The predatory birds in the Dagger Isles. Their bones, despite the mass, are hollow. They make excellent fighting weapons. I used one myself a very long time ago.
You used a knife like this?
Indeed.
She kind of smiles at it. And then, well, I'll have to take good care of it then. And sort of sheathes it. Do you need something from me?
I do.
She bows her head slightly.
I'm afraid that with the notoriety that the three of you have drawn upon yourselves, I'm going to have to ask you to find someone else to join our endeavors. Somebody competent, not those lackeys that clean up the bird shit.
Okay. And you are coming to me with this task?
I would come to Exarch, but I feel As though if I were to approach him with such a task, he would see it as an insult.
Huh.
He is a conniving old man,
He is.
remarkably sharp, but underhanded. He is faithful. I will give him that. He's converted many. But I need someone of high intellect alongside him. I do not know how he would feel about me asking him to find someone more intelligent than he.
I know how he would feel. He'd be angry.
He
But
wouldn't
he'd
move or
smile
say
about
anything.
All right. I'm not a good people person.
A lot of you have a mutual contact, if I remember correctly, in the High City. Am I misremembering?
Do I? Oh, yes. Yes, I do know. Sorry, this is me talking out of character. I do know who that is. That's the noble. Is that the correct who you're talking about?
Yes, he is a noble.
Yeah. Okay.
Matthias.
You want me to go and see nobility? And she looks genuinely uncomfortable about this idea.
Oh. Thank you.
Hey.
Oh man, it's been such a long time. How you doing? Thank
Hey.
you, Letterlun. I appreciate you. How would they feel about a donation? I would feel wonderful. Thank you for paying tithes to the service of Beryl.
Thank you. Ties to Barrett. I
Let's
found the
see.
person that we're looking for.
That Matthias Klein, he knows a man who is of terrible learning. He will arrange a meeting, and then, only then, will you reveal to Exarch that you need to have him negotiate.
Okay.
His name is Wester Strangford.
Wester Strangford.
He's
And
a
she,
professor of architecture in the city.
Architecture. Buildings?
He knows the layout of the city better than anyone that you are able to reach. He is going to be an irreplaceable asset.
She's nodding and she's just taking all of this on board. And she takes a moment. But I have the meeting first, and then I tell Exarch and Meredith as well. She will tell her husband.
Excellent. Do not mess this up. This is an opportunity to consecrate the darkest and rankest corners of the city.
She kind of raises her chin. Have I failed you yet?
He just sort of nods good, you understand. And he would slink back into the shadows to where the last thing you'd see is this sort of pale, desaturated red hue sort of fade.
And she'll kind of smile and she'll say, I'll see it done, Rago. And then she'll slink back towards the lair.
Wonderful. And let's move over to Exarch's downtime action.
Okay, I would like to start a project, actually.
Ooh.
Right on. Are you going to add a house extension or something? Or maybe paint up a piece of furniture?
It's mine is pretty simple. I would like to convert Private Record to such a fanatic that he ends up murdering Senior Investigator Iverly Grona.
Oh, I fucking love it. Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay. Let's see here.
Holy shit.
Long-term project. So I think
Oh, that's gonna take some convincing.
I think this is going to be an 8-tick clock.
Oh, sure.
Because Reichert's a genuinely kind and maybe a bit naive, but he's a good person. So convincing him of something of that would take some work, but I think it can be done.
I got time. Let's
Yeah, I
let's
got
bring
time.
him down to my level.
So when you work on a long-term project, you're starting a new one. So I believe you can actually just add these on your character sheet.
I can add a clock, yes.
Yep, adding a clock. So that's an
8.
8-tick clock, and
Mhm.
that is going. You can name it whatever you like.
Can you spell his name for me, please?
Rykard. Rykard.
Okay, that's what I thought. Just wanted to be sure. Into a phonetic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm gonna start and try and like put out enough feelers and have like little unsettling things. I want to have my wife's crows go and like follow him around so that he feels like he's being watched. I want like, like little things. I want to push him to the point that he contacts me so that we can like speak about Bearth, or even just kind of get a gauge of like, is he open to the idea of faith, and obviously push him into becoming faithful, and then of course dependent on me, and then of course willing to do anything that I say, and then becoming my puppet and killing the senior investigator.
So let's start with. I'm going to ask you for what role you would like to use.
So, I would like, if I'm just kind of getting him unsettled to the point that he comes to contact me, I'd love Sway because it's my best, but I feel like Prowl is probably more appropriate for that.
Let's take a look here.
I figure that or Study.
So Prowl would be to move around unseen. Sway is to use charm, logic, deception, or bluff to change attitudes or behavior with manipulation or seduction. So
I need him to get to me first. So I want him unsettled enough that he begins to be like, maybe I should talk to that priest, because like the city is starting to get to me.
That's a fair.
I mean, like I said, I'll gladly use my best stat, but I'm trying to be realistic in how I would gaslight this fool.
So you're probably just trying to like get a read on this guy, and then you're going to engage.
Yeah, it's a big clock, so I'm pushing him into my arms because he has to come to me willingly.
Survey or study?
Okay, I'm gonna do a study. I want to make my intentions known to Bearth before I do this. So I'm going to pray first, but that's just for me to roleplay wise to deal with. But so study, and then this is just straight up controlled and standard effect.
Yep, we're going to ignore the effect and stuff like that. I just want to see what you roll.
Okay. Bonus dice 0. A 6.
Oh, excellent. Okay, that's just shy of a crit. 2 6s would denote a crit. So you're going to fill up 3 segments in your long-term project. And with your current, I believe you have a good standing with the Blue Coats?
Yes.
So you're able to sort of weasel your way in and just start looking at police records. Like, not like deep records. You're not finding suspects and stuff like that. But you're able to like look up the officers and stuff like that. And you are able to find the home address of Reichert and where he lives. And Barrett is very approving of this. As you're leaving the station that you are nearest, you sense a presence in the alleyway nearby, a beckoning one.
I'll follow.
In the darkness, with the maladjusted light, you can see the twisted face of your master, You can see his teeth sort of riding up far into his temples, exposed as the flesh and sinew have yet to reconnect all the way. There's less skin, more muscle, more bone exposed.
I will give a like half bow. Behold, anathema. Right. I am proud to be before the bestower of mantles. Tell me, how might I lift up the hand that holds the scourge?
I must inform you that I'm impressed with your undertakings.
I'm glad to hear it.
And when you break this record, what then?
His mind will be opened, truly, to the depth of your glory. But I want the entire cosmos to flood into his feeble mind. I want blood to weep from his unseeing fucking eyes. And I want to guide his hand into the belly of that senior investigator who would take coin out of your own pocket.
You are devout. You are almost fanatical.
Fanaticism is love with a plan. And I love you more than anything. Oh, that he means it.
I know.
You showed me the
Meredith
truth.
weeping in the background.
You showed me your glory when I met you. Link by link, I'll break all your chains. Inch by inch, regrow your flesh. The master, the pupil, you and I. We will see this entire place. And you will be the charnel emperor of every soul in Duskfall. And that's just the beginning. The infinite seas of eternity, they will be our domain. Oh, Rykard will bow to me. In doing so, he'll bow to you.
This is a demonstration of what you will further be capable of. I pray, for your sake, that you succeed.
My faith has kept me so far. And my mind. Oh, my mind is sharp as any blade that Revenant carries. It's as devastating as the rifle my wife carries. I'm ready. Let us be anathema to all that exists. You and I. Forever.
Carry out my will. And there will be a seat beside my throne for you.
I will kind of nod at that and keep my head down until he either has nothing else to say or I believe that he's gone.
As you bow your head, within moments you sort of feel this presence just pulling away and fading. And that is where we're going to end the session.
Yes. Yes.
What a
Oh,
wonderful
God,
session it was.
I can't
Oh, yeah.
wait. I can't wait for Barrett to appear in front of Meredith. I want to know. I want to know what their dynamic is.
Oh, it's gonna be an interesting one. I've got it in my head.
Oh, I
I
do
was
too.
like,
So, I'd like to go around and just sort of introduce the cast, as we did do a cold open. I'd like to start left to right. Kat here has just put out an amazingly new, really short RPG that's kind of kicking up dust on Twitter.
A little bit. Okay, so I joined a jam on Itch. It's the first game that I've ever created. It's literally, that I've published. It's a little like 24-word game because it is a 24-word game jam. and it was probably one of the most challenging things I've ever done because as a writer, I find editing difficult, and this was the ultimate editing challenge. It is called Tanfe, which is Dutch for toothfee. It is basically will help you to evaluate your relationship with the tooth fairy. Let's put it that way. It is a bit creepy, and if teeth are not your jam, then I don't advise it. But otherwise, please feel free to check it out. I've got it up on Itch at the moment. My Itch page is the same as where you'll find me anywhere else on social media, which is LawMistress93. Or if you want to go and give my Twitch and my YouTube a follow, you'll find those under The Law Mistress. Currently, I have started streaming also since we've become back here again, Red. So I have been streaming some Switch game. I stream actual plays. I stream myself playing solo games. And I just sometimes just kind of co-work and chill and hang out. Tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, I will be playing Cassie Mothwin's Tangled Blessings. So I hope that you can come and make it and check it out. It's a really, really great solo game. And Cassie also has a Itch jam going on at the moment as well. So I'm hoping to be making something for that. But yeah, please check out my stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna move it on. I'm gonna move it on. To someone else.
I guess that would be me.
Or not.
Yeah, great. Honestly, right now I don't have a lot going on. Life very, very quickly caught up with me in things. I am working on a little EP, but that's really taking its time at the moment. I don't know. I really don't know where to go from here. I check out everyone else, these two people, and Red up in the corner. Check them out. They make wonderful stuff.
Check out Art SoundCloud.
Yes.
Oh, actually, there is something since we last streamed. I have a song on Spotify.
Oh, okay.
Yes!
And I completely forgot. I did it for uni. I went back and studied musical performance in the last time that you have seen me. Yeah, I've got a song on Spotify, and I'm hoping I said I would get this up before Christmas, but again, things. But I'm gonna put all of my old music on there as well. I would appreciate if you give it a listen, because that way I can be happy that numbers. I can be happy at numbers.
What's the name on Spotify?
It's Vagrant, and the song is called Buckshot.
Oh yes,
I've listened to it a few times. It's pretty awesome.
I will.
Just a few.
Only a few. You're my number one listener.
It fucking rips, so I just do it all the time.
Oh, you sweetie. You're gonna like my next song. No, I'm working on. There's one song that I want. Hopefully, I want to get out by the end of February. So that's something I guess to look forward to. That's me.
Oh, hell yes. Thank you, Art. Sorry about that weird transition. Had the mailman swing by. And lastly, but not leastly,
I suppose that'd be me. Yes, I'm Alkazam, Pro GM, Purveyor of all things homebrew. I'm very, very excited for this because I have played unhinged characters on Red Stream before. This is probably one of the craziest, if not the worst, because he actually wants to help and become an Eldritch Abomination. But I never get to be the face of the party, so this is really nice. This is fun for me. I'm just gaslighting. But Since we last streamed, I've had a few things going on, but probably most crucial, I actually have released Spliced. It is on my Ko-fi. You can check it out. But I will also say I'm working already on some expansions for Spliced, and I have some ideas even for the second edition of it. I want to hit the ground running, working on more stuff for you guys. It is a setting and genre agnostic rule set. You can use it to tell any kind of story. So, whether it's like horror, fantasy, sci-fi, if you want it to be like absolutely brutal, grimdark, or you want it to be something really fun and light, it can handle any of those things with some basic rules to break it down. Beyond that, I'm going to get back into streaming myself. I have a Splice stream coming up where we will be in the Castlevania world, but in the 1970s.
Perfect for that setting right now. I'm just saying.
So keep your eyes peeled for that. I also on my channel, I will be playing Castlevania Lords of Shadow, which is my favorite Castlevania game.
Oh, yeah.
So check that out. I'm going to be starting that next Friday. Beyond that, it's kind of everything. I just want to say how thankful I am to Red for letting us keep doing more awesome shit. This has been a fucking blast.
Don't tell the other people I work
thrilled.
with, but this is the crew for me. I get so unbelievably excited when I get everybody together, and I am including Omni when I say this.
Yes. Our favorite robot American.
So, our favorite robot American.
Folks in chat, Catman Jones and Never Let Her Run. Do you remember Cyberpunk? It was we're 2 months away from the 2-year anniversary of Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
Christ,
and I'm still working with these people. I mean, something must be going right.
Yeah, I've just become numb to your bullying. Your British.
Everybody
bullying.
does.
Hey, in those campaigns, let's see.
I'm a broken woman.
Died and then came back. Let's see. Hannibal got shot in the face. And yeah, I'm still playing. So yeah, I'm having a good time.
Let's continue that streak. Let's go 3 for 3.
Yeah. Oh, I fully expect to suffer. And I'm excited about it.
Hell yeah. Well, folks, I've posted links to check out everybody's stuff. Please check out Cat's game. It's really fucking cool. Please check out Art on Spotify. Follow them so you can keep updated when they release their music, hopefully in February, as stated. And please go check out Alakazam's Ko-Fi. He has Spliced up and ready to go, and it's actively being updated, as previously said. Yes. And me, I'm just really glad to be back streaming. I'm absolutely elated. I had some internet issues last night, and I was really worried I wouldn't be able to do that today, but we have overcome it. The shitternet has returned. I can get back to properly streaming, and yeah, and I think the next stream is next week, and that's going to be Urban Shadows. So if you like this style of sort of free-form, improv-based gameplay, we're going to have that live at 6:30 p.m. CST on the 25th, and that's going to be the GM is not me. It's going to be Morgan of Souls Rolls. I'm very much looking forward to that. That's featuring John. That's featuring Dylan and my wonderful partner Elise. I am very much looking forward to that project next week. And of course, we will be live with Whispers from the Fog again on the 1st of February, same time. And yeah, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, tell your cat. I appreciate y'all very much. I'm working on a lot of stuff in the background. I'm glad you laughed so hard. It's meowing. But I'm working on getting the book out, so just keep an eye on that on Twitter. And yeah, appreciate y'all. Much love. I'm going to try to find somebody to raid out into, but stay spooky, my friends.